Hello and welcome to another edition of the One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian.
I'm Kyle. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I'm hoping I'm not going to lose my voice. I feel
Yeah, no. We've had some illnesses going around, for sure. But it's good to be back. This is our first just you and I interview since the United Soccer Coaches Convention. Obviously, we had Paul on as well.
Mhm.
But it's good to be back, and we got a fun episode. A lot to catch up on today, including we're going to discuss some of the new Philadelphia Union signings that were announced this week. Leafs Cup information dropped,
Mhm.
so we'll be sharing that. And then also, you and I were at the Sons of Ben Help Kick Hunger event yesterday. So we are going to review and share that as well.
Yeah, like all kinds of stuff happened this week, and it's been crazy because where I teach, our internet went down for most of the week. So when I actually could go get service, because even in my classroom I can't use my phone. There's no service anyway. So when I finally had a break and I could go check these things, I was like, whoa, a lot of stuff happened. So
Really did. It
yeah,
was an exciting weekend.
yeah, it was. So make sure to subscribe and follow us if you don't already and interact with us. We love to hear from you. You can find us on social media at the One Team We Agree on Instagram and on Facebook, and at TOTWAG on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it these days.
Yeah, sure.
And of course at the One Team We Agree on YouTube.
And we also have a big announcement.
We do. So we now have an official website. You can find us at theoneteamweagreeon.com.
Yeah, and it's really cool, and we'll share that real quick here. So we do, like I said, we now have a website, and we're gonna go share the screen right now.
And jumping into blogging a little bit too.
Yeah, so let's get on this. So with that website here, as you can see, we have our homepage. When you go to it, it'll share our story. You can click on that, just learn more about us and our podcast and why we did it. And then we will have our podcast page, where you can find out all the links to where you can find us.
Right. So if you would like to listen to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or whatever, links are there. And we also have our YouTube videos. And I did go ahead and upload some of our favorite ones there,
Yep.
but you can access all of them via the link, and there will be the most recent ones listed as well.
And then we're going to do some fun writing. We have a couple articles up, both
Yeah,
Jillian and
Kyle,
I.
you're not the only one who can do media.
Yes. So
Yes.
now Jillian's also writing some pages, which is going to be exciting. We got some good stuff coming up. So I want everybody to kind of stay tuned for that. We got some travel, community, and then, of course, pre-post game matches. So we're going to see what's going on with that and you know how that evolves.
Yeah. And I can't wait to touch on some things, that have happened recently, like the supposed kit leak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to review the kits though when, things become official, but that's one thing that definitely is coming, and we're getting to games soon.
Yeah. So
So
we're going to
that
have a lot to cover.
we will.
So let's get into it.
Well, yeah.
Go ahead.
And what are you wearing today, Kyle?
This is a good question. I'm wearing the Join or Die Philadelphia Union t-shirt.
Okay. And I am sporting the special jersey that was from the convention. So they only made, I think, 250 of them.
Correct.
And I made sure as soon as they went on sale at like 4 o'clock, I was right there to get it and got one of them. And Todd from the Free Kick, he got one too.
Yeah.
And so, special edition, there's the badge that says Coaches Soccer or Coaches Football Club on there. On the back, it has a 24 for the year 24. And yeah, so I like it. Pretty cool design. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and I think it's an Icarus kit,
it is.
and they did a real nice job with that. And you want to share some of the other things we got from there?
Yeah. So when I got the jersey, they gave a bunch of other things. So the artwork of the convention. Got some stickers.
Those
Okay.
are always good.
Yes, I know the kids love to put them on their water bottles and stuff, and so I actually thought about that and got clear plastic bags, okay, which are
Never have
always
enough of them.
good for going in the stadium, of course. So those of us who don't go sitting in the media and we have to abide by the rules with the clear bag and all that.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what we got.
All right. Well, let's get
Oh,
this.
almost
Okay.
forgot.
Oh, yes.
I'm drinking water today and because my throat's a little dry, but they also on the first night of the convention, on the Thursday night, they had drinks. You could get lots of different beverages and they were all free. And they were giving out these cups when you get them. So
They're pretty
they're
cool.
color changing, on the temperature. So we got a couple of them.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And they're really nice and they're really handy.
I
So,
was surprised they were just getting like thrown out. I think they were actually recycling them, but
yeah, they were.
definitely we kept ours. So
So,
yeah, they're pretty cool though.
anything else?
No, that's it.
You sure?
I'm sure. Oh wait, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk
Let's get
about.
into the news.
Yeah. So, first and foremost, Union making some signings, and they had 3 this week. They announced, and
Let's start with the big one.
yeah, let's just get into it. I mean,
LA's back.
yeah, Cap is back, and I think it's something that for some of us, um, following the story, and I gotta give credit to our good friend Jose Nunez being on top of that. That did great work there. Just following his leads and all
Mhm.
that, and hey, it was reported that on Thursday, the Union signed Alejandro Bedoya to a new contract ahead of the 2024 season. In addition, found this very interesting. He will be serving as an on the field role. Bedoya will be taking part as a new player development and front office specialist. Uh, per the player professional development role allows MLS clubs to designate one player per year for a new position. Under the role, Bedoya will be responsible for supporting various Philadelphia Union front office initiatives in respect to marketing, digital, and social media, and additionally help optimize the club's innovative player development by serving as an important mentor to the club's young players and their overall development. And I found this interesting, strengthening the club's overall approach to player rotation.
Player rotation.
Where have we heard that before? And again, this is all per the Philadelphia Union's media release. So, um, initial thoughts.
First of all, very excited to finally see it confirmed that
Hmm.
LA would be back. Because of course Jose broke the news that that he was going to be back and then finally got confirmed.
Hmm.
And I think this role is perfect. You couldn't ask for probably a better fit. LA has that leadership and he still gets to be a part of the team and do sort of his farewell tour. Maybe if he does this one more year, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he goes longer. But it looks like coming off the bench kind of role, super sub, that sort of deal. I think that's gonna be great though. He can mentor these
Hmm.
young players. He also is very into the business side of things. As everyone is probably aware, he has his business ventures such as paddle, and so this allows him to get kind of into the business side of things. So I think that's going to be great for him.
Yeah, no. For me, I thought the biggest things, first and foremost, it's good to have him back.
Absolutely.
Having said that, I think, and I've said this from day one, it's the leadership component. Having been the team captain now, he probably won't be the captain. We don't know yet. Maybe he
Mhm,
will. Having said that, it's that transition piece, and we talked about that many episodes
mhm.
ago when we were heading into the off season, getting him back to be that transition piece for the next generation of the captain position, mentoring the young players. I think that is what I'm most excited about is having that consistent leader back for at least this next phase moving forward. Um, you mentioned about the super sub piece. We'll see,
Mhm.
but we've seen in previous seasons, especially last year, him coming off the bench that last 20 to 30 minutes, being that impact player.
Right.
So I think that's good. Can he go 90 consistently anymore? We've seen it this year. And unfortunately, there's been there's been 1 or 2 games where he's played solid 90 and I get where Jim's coming back from. His leadership on the field is vital for this team. It
Mhm.
is. But you get to that halftime and he's already going for gas. It's like that next 90 minutes, there were times last year where like you gotta get him out.
Yeah.
I think it's now time that we make that transition, have him be that super sub piece. So I think for you to get that, and Jimmy even said during the all season press conference, it's got to make sense for Ali. So if Ali's
Yeah.
fine with this position
Yeah.
moving forward, understands his role, I think it's going to be a good win win for both situations. And obviously the depth piece, having him coming off that bench,
Mhm.
that's good. Um, and it gives some of these younger players, the Quinn Sullivans, the Buenos, whomever, the opportunity now to take that next professional step and see if is their development going to pay out. So
Right.
real excited about this move. I think the timing was a little off, and I think Jose had mentioned that to us as well. Like we all were kind of like, this should have been the first signing at the beginning here.
Right.
I know it
It
took some
probably
time.
took some time to get all the logistics
Exactly.
figured out, but at the end of the day, I am just ecstatic because Ale, he is so invested in Philadelphia. He is a real leader, but he wants to stay in Philly, and he's so invested in the city and the team, and I'm just so happy that we found a way to make it work. And I shared this on our Twitter account, seeing firsthand just the little things he does that
Hmm.
really stood out, like when we were in Colorado and after the game, there was like maybe 30-ish fans for the Union there. And at the conclusion of the game, he came over to where our fans were and he shook everybody's hand. Like he went down line, he was shaking everybody's hand, thanking each person personally for coming to the game. And it was great. I posted a picture of that. So it just really stood out. I was like, "What?" That's cool. Because would I see players doing that in some of the other sports?
Probably not.
Probably not. I mean, yes, it's a bigger scale of things, but, and with the union, it's a little bit smaller, but still, like, stuff like that goes a long way, I think, with fans. I was just like, "That's awesome."
It is, and, I think something even beyond the Colorado game was the Cincinnati game, that heartbreaking, Eastern Conference semi. The team very uncharacteristically, we saw that after that game, they kind of basically headed to the locker room, except for Allie. Allie came out and
Yeah,
applauded the supporters for showing up, and, I
yeah,
mean, that's a true leader right there.
yeah, I
I
did
mean,
notice. I know they were
that
heartbroken, and I did notice that, like, the team didn't come over and applaud our fans, which I was kind of like,
I mean, it
I
happens.
I knew they were heartbroken,
Sports a human
but I
emotion.
but I appreciate that Ali did.
Exactly, exactly. So, good to have him back. Will they build a statue, you think?
I think it's deserved.
He's definitely gonna be in the Ring of Honor.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, yeah, he's a
Absolutely.
shoo-in. Um, second, sign this week, Union, signed, attacker Marcus Anderson to a 3-year deal. On Monday, they announced that, they signed Marcus Anderson to a 3-year contract that will run through, 2026 with a club option through 2028. He made 18 appearances, 4 starts in 2023, scored 3 goals in third tier Spanish division. Um,
You're not even gonna attempt to say
I'm
what team
not,
he
I'm
came
not,
from.
but I mean, he'd been in the fifth division. Somebody that is an American citizen, grew up in Brooklyn.
Right, and he worked his way up pretty quickly from what we
Yeah,
were
yeah.
told.
Ernst had said in the press release that he's kind of come on. And again, I look at this signing, and of course, we can go on YouTube and look at the highlights and get all excited. But I mean, for me, the my first initial thought, he's a tacking a depth. They said he's a forward, but a lot of the positions when I was looking at it, he's a winger. So it's,
Right.
we're gonna go back to that. Hey, he played a forward wing position, but we're gonna try and make him a center. Or is he gonna be more of a midfielder? Because I've seen a lot of like depth
Hmm.
pieces are announcing him as a midfielder.
Yeah.
So, which is I think it's a attacking piece in the midfield. Um, for Union, that can develop, and we'll see where it is. Again, goes back to what Jim said at the press conference at the end of the year. They're going to delve into their development and kind of what their foundation of the club is, right or wrong.
Yeah. A lot of people were pissed, like, oh, this team's making these signings and the union signed this guy. And it's like, first of all, let's give the guy a chance.
Yeah,
You
let's
never
see
know.
what
It
he
could
does.
it could be a Kai Wagner where this guy comes out of nowhere and ends up being, that quality, but you never know. I get people's frustrations,
Yeah.
but my goodness, like, let's give the guy a chance. That's my
I,
take.
I I think that I think you're going to see a lot of him at U2 this year.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be doing much with the first team, but you never know. I mean, if he continues to steadily grow and develop, who knows?
Hmm.
But yeah, we got another attacking piece, which is always good because that's one of the things, again, we really need on this team is these players aren't going to be here
Hmm.
forever, especially with the McGlynn's. You don't know what's going to happen with Quinn Sullivan, those kind of
Hmm.
things. We got replenish. And I think that's what people. Yes, we need to get the big signings. We do. I
Hmm.
mean, I'm not going to deny that. This league is evolving,
Right.
but I also think if you go away from that foundation, your core principles, right or wrong,
Yeah.
then you're going to be lost. And that's in business. That's in anything. You've got to stick to your core principles.
Yeah, I do feel like there needs to be some kind of balance
Right.
that you don't want to just rely on the kids coming up through. I think there does need to be some bigger signings here and there. It doesn't have to be tons, but just yeah, look what signing Bryce Harper did for the Phillies. Now that's a huge, huge, huge flashy signing. That was like the equivalent almost of like Messi going
Right,
to the king. But
and I get that argument. That comes back to the ownership. I mean, the ownership's got to either have a philosophical change
yeah,
in how they want to run this. They got to look, do they have the pieces and the staffing that fit that
yeah,
philosophy? It's not just, hey, we're going to start doing this. I
yeah,
mean, if you have developmental coaches, it's not going to work. So I think that's going to be involved in time, and I'm glad you brought this up because that was a conversation we had yesterday.
right.
Talking to a couple people at the event. I think the litmus test is going to be FC Dallas. I really, really do because Dallas makes this big sign, which Dallas really doesn't make big signings. They don't
Hmm.
spend tens of millions of dollars on a transfer.
Yeah.
If this works, you see Colorado doing that. The same
Hmm.
thing. Colorado doesn't spend. So
No.
is this something where if it works, Sugarman's going to have a philosophy change? Some people are probably like, no, and maybe not, but maybe he will. And I
Yeah.
think time will tell. Now, if both of those things don't work, then you're probably not going to. But I think that's going to be the litmus test, and maybe that will spur a philosophical change. But I don't disagree with people out there upset. I just again go back to they got to stick to their core values,
Yeah.
or do you have nothing? So I'd like to hear your comments. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't, I'd love to hear why you don't agree with that. So
And then
yeah,
very big signing. Honestly, I mean, I feel this one was fairly big. It definitely checks a box that we needed to check.
hmm
And that is the signing of backup goalkeeper Oliver Semla.
yeah. On Wednesday, you announced that they signed Oliver Semla from Louisville City FC to a 2-year contract through 2025 with a club option through 2026. As part of the deal, Union will send a second round pick in this coming year's MLS Super Draft. And just a little backstory: played soccer in Germany, came over to the States, uh, did some time NCAA playing at Marshall, had a
Hmm.
good career there, very good career.
Yeah.
Per the MLS press release, but In
Mhm.
2023 for Louisville City, he made 34 appearances, accumulating 27 saves and registering a league high 13 clean sheets. He also set a new league record for the most clean sheets as a
Mhm.
rookie. Now, I went and dived in some stats. He had 1.18 goals against average and a 65% save percentage, basically.
Yeah.
And you're like, ooh, 65%. Ooh, that's not good. Well, last year, Joe Bendick had 53% save
Well,
percentage. Is it an upgrade? Hey,
hey.
maybe. I mean, MLS is a league up from USL. Now, USL's doing good things,
Yeah.
and we've seen players from those leagues make that transition.
Mhm.
Having said that, my thoughts on this, you sign him as a number 2 with Blake missing time with all these international games, as Ernst said in the thing. And, you know, Holden missed time last year because of an injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really stunted his growth. I think everybody can agree on that. You get a guy now that this is sink or swim for Holden. So if
Mhm.
he swims, now you got some competition there, and that's a win-win
It is.
in that number 2 role. And maybe when these guys pans out, 6'3" is a big guy, so
Mhm.
we'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited
Ernst
about it.
Ernst called him one of the best keepers in USL. So
Well, we know with him being German, that background, I'm sure Ernst was following him and on top of that. And I think that this is this is promising. I'm not saying this guy's gonna necessarily set the world on fire. Who knows? But I hope he does well. And he's got Phil Whetten, he's got Andre Blake, he's got some really great people around him to help him develop. So who knows?
and Sage had a really nice interview with Phil. It was on Twitter this week making rounds. I saw a couple people retweet it, and Phil was very high on him. So
Yeah, and so I think it definitely makes me feel a little bit better about the goalkeeping situation
yeah,
when Andre is away, and he seemed well liked anyway at Louisville, so that's cool.
yeah, a lot of good compliments about him from the
Yeah,
Louisville staff. So you know, we'll see how that plays out. You now have 30, I believe, 30 players on the roster or something like that. So it's a good thing. So we'll see if they make any other moves or signing sellings. We'll see. Some of the windows are still open. Um,
but yeah, Julian Carranza's still with us, so
Kronz is still here. We'll see if he gets moved in the summer per reports.
mhm,
And, Torres is still here.
mhm,
Gozdog's still here. So, although I don't think Gozdog's going anywhere. But
no.
anyway, um, let's get into yesterday. We were at the
Help
Help
Kick
Kick
Hunger.
Hunger event, Sons of Ben hold yearly. Just for people who don't know, it's their largest fundraising event a year. Through silent auctions, raffles, 50/50 drawings. They're able to raise money and food each year to support the Bernardine Center and their critically needed programs. Bernardine, probably,
Bernardine, yeah.
probably. Um, and it was a great event. We went.
Yeah.
It was at the Broken Goblet Brewery yesterday, which was a really
Yep.
cool venue.
Yep, over in Bensalem. Yep.
And yeah, let's share some of the pictures from it. You
Yeah,
can
so I'd never been there before, and
and
so we
let's get on here.
we enjoyed checking out a different venue. There was a pretty good crowd there, and the we were in like the area where there's a stage and everything. So they have bands that play, I guess, there. So we were given raffle tickets. You got your drink tickets. There was a buffet of food from Bull and Dog,
Mhm.
and so that's from up above.
Really nice venue with the
It
stage.
was
They had, if you can see them with my mouse, they had like all the raffle events here. They had some Sons of Ben, little table here, and then they had like a cornhole event they were doing for
right,
a rap
right. You
event.
could, yeah, it was that you could win prizes with that, and they had the silent auction. They were auctioning off 2 playoff banners. That's really all I wanted, the playoff banners, but it got
Yeah.
a little expensive, so I was just like, "Eh." But as much as I would love to have one of those, and they had a lot of signed items and some game packages like Tunnel Club, and there was Phillies and wings and some different things there. Also, there was Dave Leno
Mhm.
game boards that
Yeah.
he uses. So always impressed with what he does for those. So lots of people we knew there, and Bang showed up, and Sebastian Latou was there, and Ashley Rice was there.
Yeah.
So there was, yeah, so they were there, and I had a good time. And I didn't win anything, unfortunately. We didn't win anything, but we still had a good time.
We did, and, first and foremost, it's awesome to always get back to a good
There was
cause,
a lot of food donated, so
and
that
that
was
was
great.
awesome to see. I thought the, raffle items were wonderful,
Mhm.
and, even second, it was good to see, a lot of people we know,
I
and
miss seeing people.
yeah, seeing people
Yeah.
we know interacting with them, I thought that was good, and generally, the overall atmosphere was everybody's just ready to get back and see everybody, excited for football again, excited for the union. I know some people right now are like, "Oh, this is gonna be not the greatest year," but just talking to people, everybody's like, "This is gonna be exciting. We're excited for this year." And I kinda agree. Like, yes, there's a lot of questions to be answered, but people generally, when we were talking to, are excited to get back,
Yeah.
excited to cheer on the union, and that's awesome to see.
It is. I think everyone was just so pumped to get back, miss going to the tailgates, miss being at the games and all of that. So it was almost like being at a tailgate.
It was.
We even had the DJ and everything going on. So that part was fun, and I'm glad we went. And of course, it's for a good cause. I'm always happy to help with something like that.
It was. And so if you haven't gone, sure they're gonna do it next year. Just talking to some people, sounds like they got some good things. Sons of Ben got some fun stuff. We did see pulling me scarf, and
Yes, and it looks awesome.
it's probably one. I will say this right now. Now we've only been around since 19, but this is my favorite scarf.
Yeah, this is one I think I will definitely be taking to games with me.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely really, really, really sharp. Um, and finally, they last bit of news, Leagues Cup, love it or hate it. And I wrote
Mhm.
an article. It's on oneteamweagreeon.com. You can check it out. Love it or hate it, it's back, and they had their groupings. And the Union are grouped in the East four bracket. So they had all the East West brackets. And the Union are going to be grouped with Charlotte FC and Liga MX team Cruz Azul.
Yep.
Some things they did a little different, and we're going to find out more. One of the things they announced in the press release was that it's going to be the after the group stages, they're going to do what they're calling a fixed bracket. They
Mhm.
really didn't expand upon it. They said more information is going to become
Right, but there's some
available.
changes coming.
So there's some changes coming. As it stands right now, should the union, which you would assume they do, um, they got a tough road ahead. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But for even the brackets, it was a little different this year, and I explained that in the article. Basically, they had three tiers, you would say. They had 1 to 15, and they had the next tier and the next tier, and they picked one of the teams from each of those brackets. Obviously, one team from Liga MX and Columbus, they got a bye. I think it was Club America got the bye from Liga MX. And basically, Union were like 15th. They're ranked 15th. And then we had another team came in. And then Charlotte was in the second tier, and Cruz Azul, which surprisingly, Cruz Azul, they've been historically a very powerful team.
Mhm.
They were in the third tier. So if that all they didn't really go into how the home field play out. You figure Union being the high seed will have home field for both those games.
Yeah.
And I remember
After that, then we'll see.
well, yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, if the bracket plays out, Messi Miami will come. Probably you figure they're going to come.
Yeah.
Tigres is in that 1 through 4 bracket. Obviously, you figure Columbus will be there. Orlando, and then of course Cincinnati's got the top bracket seed.
Mhm.
So, it's gonna be a tough draw. And the Unions are obviously gonna have to go on the road. So we'll
Yep.
see what happens once the kind of formalized brackets and dates, all that gets set up, but, I'll do a further breakdown on it. But are you excited for Leagues Cup?
Nah.
Is it just a meh this year?
I mean, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I had fun at it last
Oh,
year.
it's a fun
We were
time.
not at the messy circus, of course,
No,
but I had a lot of fun at the games. It was more games for us to go to, and I like going to games.
I'm
So
excited for Cruz Azul. That's gonna be a
it
fun
is exciting to
atmosphere.
play some different teams. We are gonna have to play Charlotte like a whole bunch of times in a short span of time,
Yeah,
but it is always cool getting to play against different teams.
yeah,
So going against Cruz Azul, yeah, that's neat.
it is, and we'll see. I think this year that it's gonna be much more challenging for the Union to get to, the Final Four.
And everybody opt in if you have season ticket if you're season
Yes,
ticket holders,
please opt.
maybe you will learn to opt in this time so you don't complain when you can't get tickets.
That is true. So there's that. So, yep, that's us catching up on some stuff. We'll be back probably here either this week or next week with some more
Yeah,
stuff,
we
depending
do.
on if any news drops.
Yeah,
But
we expect the kit drops hopefully to be very soon and definitely plan on reviewing those. And
yes,
I will say that the kit that we saw for the Union, I love it. That's all I'm going to say about that for now. I love
I
it.
am waiting to see it released
What I saw,
because
I love.
I'm about to have a wild take on it, but I won't go there yet.
We'll
I
get
need
into
to
that in a
see
future
it.
episode.
I need to see it actually either in person or I need to see it like posted. Um, I really like it. I
And
like it a lot.
yep, and I'm definitely going to be reviewing new merch that comes out. I can't wait to go blow my money at the team store. But as you look at me like, um,
I'm gonna have to work extra landscaping, aren't I?
you are.
All right.
Anybody need landscaping done? This is your guy.
I won't go
Okay.
that far.
Pay him to do your landscaping so I
I
can
would
get
not go that
stuff.
far. But anyway,
Yeah.
we have a few articles coming out in the coming weeks, so make sure to keep an eye out. We'll be posting them on our social media profiles. Also, I personally this year again am going to be joining Jeffrey Mitchell and the Sons of Ben for St. Baldrick's to help raise money for childhood cancer. I have the link in the description if you want to donate. My goal this year is to raise, along with everybody else, I want to raise, I set an individual goal of $500 to raise towards St. Baldrick's. So uh, feel free to donate. But yep, I'm going to shave my head again this year.
Yeah, and this is a cause that is very important to us as we've known people, not just, I mean, obviously, childhood cancer is the worst.
Yes, it is.
And unfortunately, I've known several children that have had to go through this, and it's awful. It's cruel, and anything we can do to help with that. And of course, just cancer in general has touched our lives. So anything we can do to support that and bring awareness, we're always happy to do.
Absolutely. It's for a great cause, and that's why we're doing it.
Absolutely.
So, and then finally, keep your eye out for a couple episodes. We're going to, of course, do our MLS kit review, reviewing all the MLS teams' kits and ranking them.
Yep.
And then we're probably gonna have our preseason prediction again. I've been working on it, and yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. With this way the schedule's set up, uh, not gonna try to be Negadelphia on that, but I'm gonna be pragmatic. I think, to quote Kevin Kincaid, pragmatic approach.
Pragmatic, and you're not gonna pick Bizo as your I'm not gonna go there.
Let's not go there. Anyway, that's all the time we have for this episode of the One Team We Agree On.
Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment and find us on our social media pages and comment on our videos via YouTube. We love hearing from you.
And until next time, I'm Kyle,
I'm Jillian.
and we'll see you at the game.